lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Scott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Wow, what a week. Welcome to Phillies Weekly. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today with, well, two outstanding guests. I mean, Jeff is on the way from the stadium to his house. I mean, it takes a little bit of time there, but what can I tell you? I got Anthony SanFilippo in the house, the man, the one and only, and Tyler Poitras. I mean, Tyler, come on, man. You got to put a little Italian into that last game. How you doing, guys? It's great to see you.
Great to see you too, Oscar, even though you're right next door to me. But it's great to see you.
I'm doing well. It's great to be here.
It's Tyler, a real pleasure to be here. Well, what a week. I think everything happens this week. Everything happened. We get swept by the Mets. Everybody's down. The world is on fire. We're going to die. Then we go in on Thursday and we score 19 runs. Schwarber hits 4 home runs. I mean, 9 RBIs in one game. We've never seen anything like it before in Phillies history. And I mean, outside of, I'm talking about the 9 RBIs, and then we go in and we win 3 out of 4 from Atlanta, but we lose today a game that, I mean, Luzardo gives you 2 hits, allows 2 hits. I mean, we should have won the game today, but look, at the end of the day, I think we're going to see kind of where we are in this journey, and I think we're in pretty good shape. Anthony, let's start with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I know you lose the game tonight, and that's, got to be disappointing. But when you look at it, you're up 6 games with 25 to play. And that's a very difficult thing to overcome, right? Let's say the Phillies go 13-12 in the last 25 games, play right around 500. I think they'll do a little bit better than that, but let's just say they go 13-12. The Mets would then have to be 19-6. And there's nothing when you see the way that the Mets have been playing, other than against the Phillies, that makes you think that they could go on a 19-6 run. So you're going to win the division. What it's really going to come down to, Oscar, to me, is do you get the bye or not? And right now the Phillies have a 1-game edge on the Dodgers, and that's what it's going to be, man. Like I think that you look at this series with Milwaukee coming up, the series with the Dodgers in LA in a couple of weeks, and then the Mets when they come here. Those are the 3 series that will dictate whether the Phillies are the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed going into October.
Yeah, and I'll have a slide that shows the entire schedule for the remainder for the Phils, and it's gonna be. Look, we have a tougher schedule than the Dodgers do. The Dodgers don't play San Diego anymore, which is kind of their main competitor. So we'll still have 4 games with the Mets here. I mean, here at home. And it's gonna be very, very, very interesting. So, Tyler, how you see it?
Yeah, right now, I think from this last series, you kind of get all aspects of the Phillies. You get some games where you're out slugging the opponent and you're scoring a bunch of runs, and then you get other games where the starting pitching's really locked in, and you're struggling to get runners home in scoring position. And it really shows you, though, watching these other teams, that the Phillies are still in a really good spot, and they still have multiple ways that they can win. They just got to get all of it together at once. And I think that's also what leads you to be a little concerned when it comes to the postseason. But, I'm excited for this stretch to just see exactly how we do against these teams, big series coming up with the Brewers. But I've been very encouraged outside of the Mets series, which –
yeah, I'm a little worried about the Brewers series with Taiwan and Nola being 1-2 against Mazeroski and Quintana, and then they got you Peralta against Ranger. It's not going to be an easy series. I mean, they're bringing you their top pitchers, and I mean, let's be clear. Right now, Nola is probably our number 4, and Walker is our number 5. So We're not bringing our best pitchers against them. I mean, Luzardo, I feel so bad for Luzardo. He pitched so well today. I mean, he does not deserve to lose this game. I mean, he was completely lights out today. So it's very unfortunate. But it is what it is. It's baseball. Ball is round and comes in a square box, and anything could happen. So here's kind of where we are. We're 6 games ahead of the Mets. The Mets are, what we would call in a massive slump, losing 3 games, 3 straight games to the Miami Marlins. I mean, I was watching part of the game today with Alcantara. Alcantara was completely lights out today against the Mets. I mean, he allowed 1 run, and he was. We thank him for that. So that's good news. I mean that the Mets lost while we were winning all these games, and today we both lost. I mean, and it's a great thing to see. If you start looking from a perspective standpoint, if you look at kind of where we are with the wild card, we have a 10-game advantage on the wild card. So Cincinnati is 4 games behind the Mets, and we're 6 games ahead of the Mets. I mean, it's a 10-game advantage on the wild card, and as you guys, I mean, as you rightly said, I mean, we're gonna be in the playoffs. That's not the question. The bigger question is going to be, can we be the 2 seeds? Right now, we have a 1-game lead on the Dodgers. Our schedule is a lot tougher, and we need to travel to Dodger Stadium and also to Arizona in our last road trip, the last week of the season, or the one before the last week of the season. So it's gonna be very, very interesting how we move forward. But look, I think this week was interesting, but I want to start kind of with the news that popped up today, and Dombrowski spoke with us, Anthony, about this. I mean, actually, let's just look at kind of what happened this week. 3 and 4, we were 550, and I run the number here. We were 550, but that includes the 19-run game. If you take out the 19-run game, it's 2.8 runs per game. I mean, you're not going to win a lot of games if you're only scoring 2.8 runs a week. I mean, during those games, and that's what happened. And we scored 3 games in the first game against the Mets, 5 runs. We should have won that second game. That's the one that Duran lost the game with 4 straight hits. Then we had Taijuan Walker. I did not have much hope in that game, the Walker game. But then we come home and we scored 19 runs. And then we scored 2 runs 2 days ago, 3 runs yesterday. We were lucky to win those games because we only got 6 hits in both games. And today we only got 5 hits. We scored 1 run, and we were 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and we left 8 men on base. So if you're not going to hit, we're not going to win a lot of games if we cannot hit. We need more consistency out of this lineup. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Well, there's no doubt you need more consistency out of the lineup. I mean, if you look at this week, like you said, 5.5 runs, but boy, oh boy, it's only bolstered by that 19, right? And, I was looking at it, Oscar, and they scored 8 runs in New York against the Mets. The Marlins went into the same stadium, Citi Field, right? Scored 32 runs in 4 games. They averaged 8 runs a game. And today was their lowest output at 5 runs. There's just something where I think that the Phillies spook themselves a lot of times up in that ballpark. Their approaches against the Mets, and I was up there. I sat through it.
I know you were.
I've sat through so many losses in New York in the last 2 years, and it's just they look like a different team.
Is there that they put too much pressure on themselves that they absolutely need to win there?
Yeah, I think so. In a lot of ways, I do think that they put a lot of pressure on themselves. What I think ends up happening, and it's not just in New York, they do this when they kind of go into offensive slumps all the time. I think you get a little bit of these guys trying to play hero ball. All right, so the team's not scoring. It's on me. I got to go up there, hit a home run. And they're swinging out of their shoes rather than just say, let me get on base and hand the bat to the next guy. And I think that's the biggest flaw of this Phillies offense that is never going to change because it's ingrained in these guys that they have to be the best player. So, I think that, but I think it's really exacerbated. It's a more noticeable thing when you're in New York in Citi Field because I think that they want to win so badly there. And it just comes out in every hitter as opposed to just a handful of them.
Yeah, I had to do some work and travel, but I couldn't go to the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday series. But I was in all the previous ones, and you looked at it last year when we were in the playoffs, that we're in that stadium and somehow, some way, we're putting too much pressure on ourselves that you cannot make a mistake. I mean, and you saw it on Luzardo and what Luzardo did and Christopher Sanchez did. I mean, when have we seen Christopher Sanchez hitting a bucket or throwing a bucket around? And when have we seen Luzardo, which is a pretty calm and quiet guy? I mean, the guy had a beautiful thing happen yesterday where he's giving away to the Boys and Girls Scout. I mean, in Philly, he's selling cheesesteaks and giving all that money. I mean, that's the type of guy he is. I mean, you see him kind of screaming at the umpire. I mean, it's like we're just going out there. We just need to relax and try to play our game. And I mean, I know it's not easy. I mean, it's easier said than done. But we're not even in the middle of the playoffs yet, and we're just putting so much pressure on ourselves. So that's is something that we're gonna have to work on. And I think I like what happened today. I mean, let's get into the Buehler news. I mean, first of all, believe it or not, when I did this morning, I put, should the Phillies sign Walker Buehler with a question mark? And take a look at that. We come in the afternoon and the news comes out that the Phillies are interested. And look, this guy have done some very remarkable things in his career, and he can help. I mean, I know this is not the Walker Buehler of 2019, 2020, where he was one of the elite pitchers in all of baseball. He's had 2 Tommy Youngs. This is his second Tommy Young surgery. But this guy has experience, and he gave you last year, and he showed you what he's capable of doing. I mean, he pitched 13 scoreless innings in the postseason, in the World Series, and in the postseason, and he closed the last game with a save and won saved the last game, the last out for the Dodgers when they beat 7-6 in that 5th game, the New York Yankees. So I do believe this guy has still something in him. He's a special guy. Walker Buehler of all times. If you see some of the numbers here that I wanted to put, look at the percentage of strikeouts. It's on the second chart on the bottom. He had his strikeouts in 2019 was 29.2% of every batter he faced. He was striking out. Then went to 28.6, down in 21 to 26. Then he gets injured, and look, in 2024 it was 18.6, and this year is 16.5. And also look, this is the same thing that is happening with Andrew Painter. Look how his command hasn't come yet. He had a 5% percentage on base on balls, and look how that number has going up from 8.1 to 10.8. Now, yeah.
One thing that I've seen from Buehler after watching some clips, I actually watched some from 2021 and some from this year, and I've noticed that the velocity is slightly down, but the pinpoint of his fastball, it's just not there the later that he gets into games at all. You know, you can tell where the catcher's setting up, and it's just been going nowhere close to where it was. But I did notice after the All-Star game that it was getting a little bit better until his last 2 starts when they finally cut bait. But, yeah, I think that he's just missing a lot of the swing and miss stuff. But, you know, signing him to the minor league deal, you know, he's only getting paid the prorated league minimum. It's just worth a gamble, you know. If he's not good, then he's just not on the postseason roster.
Look, I think it's a great gamble. I love the idea. I don't know what's your take, Anthony, in signing him. I like the idea of signing him.
I have no problem with the gamble. I mean, because it's not costing you anything. And as you already pointed out, you know, he has postseason experience and did well in the postseason when he's been there. Other than his NLDS game last year wasn't great, but other than that, I mean, he did really well against the Mets. Did really well against the Yankees in the World Series. So, yeah, it's worth a flyer. His numbers have been terrible the last 2 years, let's be honest. I mean, last year with the Dodgers, regular season, and then this year with the Red Sox. But Dave Dombrowski basically said that they feel like a veteran like Buehler is better depth for this team right now than relying on Andrew Painter, who has not had command. And Dombrowski did say like that, you know, they talked, there's a connection between Buehler and Caleb Cotham. They both went to Vanderbilt. They're both driveline kind of guys. So they talk a different language than most people. And so there's a lot there. And Cotham really feels like, and Dombrowski wouldn't say what, but he feels like that there is something that they identify that they can fix and get Buehler back to being like he was before. This doesn't mean you're going to get 2019 or 2021 Walker Buehler, but you're going to get something better than you got in Boston. And they were encouraged. If you go back to August 8th, he pitched 6 shutout innings against the Padres, and they were encouraged by that start. His stuff is still there.
And against the Phillies, I mean, he stopped. I mean, he stopped us too. Yeah. So I mean, look, this guy definitely can do it, and this is the part that I'm most impressed by him. I mean, take a look at his numbers in the postseason. I mean, the luxury of having a guy like this that have pitched 90 innings, 94.2 innings in postseason, that have stroked over 100 batters. I mean, this guy has been there in the big moments. So, and that's something Dombrowski also mentioned to us today, that he's not going to be scared of the big moment. So he's been there, and I love the signing. I mean, I really like this signing. Again, you don't have anything to lose. You sign into a minor league deal. The plan is for him to pitch on the 6th. He's going to be pitching in Lehigh Valley. And then afterwards, he's going to come here on the 12th, and he's going to be pitching. I think that's a series. We're playing Kansas City, right?
Correct. Yes. That'll be against the Royals.
Yeah, against the Royals. That would be on a Friday. That would be a Friday game against the Royals. So, look, it's going to be very, very interesting what this guy can do for us. Also, he wants to do it so he can prove what he's capable of doing. He only signed a 1-year deal with Boston, and he just signed a minor league year for the remaining of the year. This guy does a great job, and maybe he gets a bigger deal, or maybe he stays in Philly. I would love to have an arm like this stay in Philly if he's effective. So we'll see. I mean, it's a very, very interesting dynamic, his signing. So again, 4-4, 3.04. ERA in the postseason, 114 strikeouts, and then last year he had 13 scoreless innings. He opened a game in the World Series, and then he closed the World Series game, which was fascinating. The second signing, Tim Mayza, a left-handed pitcher with playoff experience as well. He's pitched for he's been in the playoffs with the Blue Jays, and he's been in the playoffs with the Yankees. And look, I think this guy can also help.
Yeah, actually, I think Mayza is going to be pretty impactful right away. He's going to be in the bullpen tomorrow in Milwaukee. And he's only had the one bad year, really, and it was last year, even though he did pitch in the World Series for the Yankees last year. But his regular season wasn't great. But for 3 years before that, with Toronto, he was really good in their bullpen. Throws hard. And you're going to lose Alvarado in the postseason, so this gives you a third lefty out of the bullpen with Strom and Banks that the Phillies can go to, and he's pretty good against lefties overall in his career. I mean, he's always done a good job against them. I think it's an interesting signing. He actually got off to a really good start in April with the Pirates, and he got hurt. He had a couple of muscle strains.
Lat, right? Is it lat?
A lat, and then a teres major is the other one. And then he came back. He started his rehab assignment. I think it was 2 weeks ago for the Pirates. And then they decided that they didn't have room on the 40-man for him, so they waived him, and the Phillies claimed him. So I think you're going to see Mayza pretty quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see him tomorrow in the game in Milwaukee. And the other thing, just to point out for anyone. He's a local guy. Upper Perkiomenville area. It's funny because Phillies brought in Lou Trevino earlier in the week, and he's from basically the same area. They grew up together. They competed against each other. They were on the same team for a quick minute. It's really kind of funny. They pitched against each other in college. So they know each other very well. Now all of a sudden they're both in the Phillies bullpen. So
and because really the roster expands, you don't need to at least for now. You can keep everyone on board, and he'll be the extra guy. And I love who the second guy is. I mean, we were asking Dombrowski, and should I say it? Shouldn't I say it? Should we let the manager do it and all that? And then he said, you know what? Kevin told him. The head of PR for the Phillies said, go for it. And then he said, Garrett Stubbs, the Stubby's back. So that's awesome to hear, man.
Yeah, no, it's good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Oh, I was going to say, I actually really enjoy them bringing Stubbs back, especially because some of the young guys that you have in AAA, you really want to get them at bats every game. And right now, the way that the team is constructed, you really don't have that many at bats to do that. So getting a veteran guy like Stubbs back in, you can get him in all the meetings with all the pitchers again. He's there for the clubhouse. I just think it's a positive.
Yeah, and as Dombrowski said, and I think that this is the thing that it's kind of maybe people don't recognize the value of bringing in a third catcher. It doesn't matter that it's Garrett Stubbs. It could have been whoever, but as long as the fact is the guy's the third catcher. So now allows you to use JT Realmuto as a pinch hitter in games he's not starting. So when Marchand or Stubbs, whoever's starting, you have Realmuto off the bench because it gives you a third catcher that could come into the game in case of emergency. Or if you wanted to look at a game where you say, let's play Schwarber in left field, JT can DH. And now you're finding a way to keep JT in the lineup even in a game when he's not starting behind the plate. So I think that helps your offense a little bit. Might hurt the defense slightly with Schwarber in the outfield, but it's certainly an option that you can go to and keep Realmuto in the lineup even if he's not catching a game. So I think that's the benefit for having Stubbs be the recall.
In my opinion, the biggest benefit that Stubbs is going to bring is he's going to help in the clubhouse to lose a lot of the things that we're talking about, that we saw issues. A lot of the guys are so tense and all that. He keeps everyone loose. I mean, I remember when he was here the last few years, he was the music guy. I mean, I would go on the bus with the team and he would turn on the music in the back and be kind of the guy having fun. I mean, we saw him in the postseason. I mean, the guy with the beers and all that. So I do like what he brings to the table in terms of trying to loosen this clubhouse a little bit. And I'm sure everyone is going to be super, super happy that he came back because he deserves it. By the way, he paid his dues in AAA, and I'm super happy that he's back with the Phillies. And I
had a great year. He's had a great year in AAA.
He has.
Really has.
He had a great year. And look, we know why. I mean, we know the situation with Marchand, that he doesn't have options to go down, and that's a main reason why this happened. But Stubby is such a great guy, such a great team guy, and you put him. I think the interesting part is Stubby and Castellanos historically have been very close to each other. I think hopefully that loosens up Castellanos a little bit to put a little bit more of the team hat that we need him to put on for the rest of the way. I'm not liking a lot of the dynamics that I'm seeing there. And look, at the end of the day, this is a team effort, and I love what Topper said earlier in the week. We need to leave the egos outside of the doors of the clubhouse, and hopefully we get the best version of Castellanos the rest of the way. I mean, I'm pulling for him. I was surprised they didn't. I mean, and part of it could be this whole dynamic. I mean, why they didn't bring Kepler to hit against Iglesias at the end of the game.
So apparently he's got a shoulder issue.
He does.
Yeah, that's been bothering him. And I guess, even though he's technically was available, I think that it was a matter of let's give him another day, see how he is tomorrow. If he's still not good tomorrow, maybe he sits one more day, and then you have the off day on Tuesday. Kind of gives him several days in a row to kind of rest it, and then see where things are come midweek. But I think Kepler was probably going to be in the lineup tonight. Forget who it was that asked Rob pregame, and
instead of Castellano.
Yeah, and Rob said no comment.
The reality is
that's what it means, right?
Yeah. I do understand the dynamics, and I actually have it here in the next few slides. So let's talk just kind of those slides that you saw there. I had to do them kind of last minute, trying to get in so we could talk about it, because those are very, very important things. But this is what happened during the week. I mean, we have the Mets swept us, and you can see them all going crazy. I wanted to pull yesterday's and today's news to see to see what they said about the Mets, but they must be dying right now. Believe me, they ain't dancing the way they're dancing there after they swept us. But look, after that, what a response on Thursday, hitting 7 home runs, and then Schwarber being magical, man. That I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, 4 home runs in a game. I mean, and I called the Lorenzo no-hitter. And, I mean, the home run by JT in Game 1 of the World Series against the Astros, I mean, those were special. But, I mean, calling 4 home run, the guy, I mean, every time he stood up there, And in the fifth one, I said he's going yard man against the the infielder, and he hits a pop fly.
And he did it after going 0 for 20 before that.
Yes,
Right.
Which is even more incredible.
0 for 20. Yeah. I mean, look, this guy's.
You guys know he was only the third player in the history of the game, in the history of the sport, to come to bat with an opportunity to hit a fifth home run in a game.
That's
incredible.
Crazy.
Yeah, it only happened twice before. Lou Gehrig, 1932, and Mike Cameron in 2002 were the only other players who had a chance to hit a fifth home run. Yeah.
I mean, it's truly insane. I mean, we know he's a very special guy, and look, I hope he resigns with the Phillies. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. I hope he resigns with the Phil. He's as class act as you can see. He's a great representative of Philadelphia. He's a great representative of the team. Everything positive about this guy. I mean, there's not an inch of that you could say. He helps in the community. I mean, everything. He does everything right, the right way. And he's one of the hardest working guys that you see out there helping others. I mean, which is the other thing. I mean, it's he's a truly class act. I was next to them when they were doing the interview, when Eduardo Perez, the guy from my friend from ESPN, was doing the interview. And I mean, it was special. He was showing him times when he was in a choir when he was very young. I mean, it's special. I didn't see the interview because I was broadcasting, but look, it was super special. 7 home runs, franchise record. I mean, the 9 RBIs are a franchise record, and then the 4 home runs tied with Mike Schmidt and a couple others. I mean, Chuck Line, Delancey. Is it Delancey? What's his last name?
Ed Delahanty.
Delahanty. Sorry, that's my Spanish, guys.
It's from 1896.
Yeah,
Oscar.
I can always blame my Spanish for that.
He had 2 inside the park home runs too.
Yes.
Wow,
Large
2 of them
stadium.
were inside the park.
So Schwarber's the only Philly to ever hit 4 home runs in a 9-inning game where all 4 balls left the park.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Delahanty. The stadium where Ed Delahanty hit his 4 home runs. You'll get a kick out of this, Oscar. The right field line was 219 feet.
Oh my goodness.
219. Dead center field was 560 feet.
Oh my!
So imagine that. That's why 2 of them were inside the park.
He almost. I mean, Harris. That is a great outfielder. He misplayed that play in center field. Yeah. I wanted him to have an inside the park, man. That would have been like the exclamation point in this game.
Could you imagine if his 50th home run was an inside the park home run?
Oh my! It was. I remember when he turned. I mean, I'm here at the stadium, and I saw him turning between second and third, and he said, "Oh God, am I going to run this whole thing? I don't think I can do it." It was fun, man. It was super fun. I mean, this guy. I mean, what a season! What a year! I mean, look, I remember when Harper had his MVP year. I don't think it was as special as this guy. I mean,
no, this is definitely different. Yes,
it feels different. I mean, this guy, every time he goes at bat, I mean, I know he didn't have a great series after those home runs, but every time he steps at the plate, I mean, this guy is electric. I mean, so
it's must see television when
must see television, and part of the reason maybe ESPN had this game is part of that is because of Schwarb. So
yeah.
Look, thank you, Short, for everything you're doing. Some quick news here. The calendar for 2026 came out, and there's a series against the Minnesota Twins, and the Phils apparently are going to go to the Field of Dreams and play against the Twins. So Broxton against Harper and hopefully Schwarber there at the Field of Dreams. I mean, I can wait to broadcast there and be at that game. It'll be super, super special.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be in August. That'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it as well, Oscar. I think it'll be a neat thing. I wish baseball would have that event more regularly. I'd rather that every year than going and playing at a racetrack, right? Like this is Field of Dreams
with a massive storm. I mean, it looked like a hurricane that Saturday. My God, that was crazy.
The most interesting thing about the calendar, it's worth pointing out, though, and it's going to be tough for them, and I don't want to get so far ahead of ourselves to talk about next summer, But because of the All-Star game being here next year, at the same time, you have the World Cup across the street at Lincoln Financial Field. The Phillies have a stretch there of for 3 weeks where they have one home series. So they have a long road trip, come home for one series, and then another long road trip.
Yeah, that's
so
in June, late June to early July.
Yeah,
you see all the white.
Yeah,
you see all the white there. And there's
Yeah.
only one series, which is the Pittsburgh Pirates, in the beginning, late June and early July. That's the only series. Now, this calendar is something that caught my attention, and I was kidding with a lot of my friends when they were, and I was actually in the Carlos Baerga podcast and talking about this. I said the Phillies don't have to play the Mets anymore in Citi Field. I mean, hopefully that's the case until June 18th, 2026. So the Phillies are not going to play the first 2 months of the season. We don't play them in Citi Field until June 18th, 2026. That is the next game we will play there. So,
and that's the only thing I hate with how they do the schedules now. I feel like there has to be more division games. We shouldn't be waiting until that long to play games at Citi Field next year.
You should have like every month you should play at least, 3 games against either away or home. I mean, it's the unfortunate thing of going from 19 games to going to 13.
And the other thing that kills me is situations like this where you played the Mets at the beginning of last week and then you're just playing them again next week. Mm-hmm. Spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's not easy, and they're trying to manage travel. I mean, the interesting news that they might realign all the divisions. Some people that with crazy minds have us playing with the Yankees and the Reds. Imagine Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, and Phillies. No way. I mean, there's no way. The Red Sox and the Yankees are going to stay in the American League East, and the Phillies and the Mets are going to stay in the National League East. And
I think it's more likely you're going to have 4 divisions with 8 teams in it than you would 8 divisions with 4 teams in it.
Look at that. That's interesting. So they're not going to follow the NFL. The NFL. By the way, the NFL starts on Thursday, and we'll be there at. I have to be there at at Lincoln Financial Field across the street. So, Luzardo had his event. I really, really appreciate. He does a lot of work for the community. He's such a nice guy. I mean, if you know him personally, he's such a warm, friendly guy. His family's a delight. I mean, they're really, really special people, and I'm glad he's here. And I mean, similar to Schwarber in the sense that he cares for people and cares for the community. That's who Sus Luzardo. Now I'm calling him Sus instead of Jesus. Sus Luzardo is. So it's a great guy, and look, I love that he did that for the community, and we want to have more of him. For the next couple of years, at least with the Phils. So let's. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Bottom line, I mean, I think the only thing that I want you to look in these slides, and I want to do this one quick today because I mean we've been working for many hours. One of the things that is the August is what is it called? The results. What we achieved in August. So we were 18-11. If you look at the remaining months, we were in May 19-9, 3-1 in March. 14-12, basically 500 almost in April. The same thing in June, and we were below 500 in July. Our 2 best months of the years have been May and August. So it's something we had a great August, and that have put us in a position to have this lead that we have of 6 games, which is a great thing. And we have won the 28th series of the year, so we're 28. We doubled the amount of wins there, and we continue to have what's our so we have a 79 and 57. That's our current record. So we are 2 games. We're 22 games above 500, which is a great thing.
The one thing I want to point out, Oscar, that's worth mentioning here, and you mentioned that they're 23-19 against the NL East. So here's an interesting little nugget. So when they played the Dodgers back in April. They won that series here in Philadelphia 2-1. They won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. So now they're going to LA in 2 weeks. And if they lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, right? And so that would mean that their season series is tied at 3-3.
How do they do that? How do they
So the first tiebreaker, let's say the Phillies and Dodgers finish with the same record. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. Well, they would be tied at 3-3. The second tiebreaker, and this one does not make sense to me, but the second tiebreaker is your division record. So the Phillies division record is 23-19. Meanwhile, the Dodgers division record is 26-13. Now, I don't know why that should be the tiebreaker, how the Dodgers perform against those four teams versus, how the Phillies perform against their four teams.
It's too different. I mean, you're not facing the same guys. It would be all of National League. I'll take it, but
right. That's why it should be the whole league. Because there's so many interleague games, so it should be the record against the rest of the National League, but it's not. It's your record against the division. So the Dodgers have a significant advantage over the Phillies there. So that's what's going to make that series in LA all the more important for the Phillies to try and win 2 out of 3, so they have that head-to-head tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. But I'm glad that the team is having positive momentum. Last year, we did not have a very good second half. So seeing that 18-11 is a very, very positive sign for the Phils. We'll see how we end up September. It's going to be very, very interesting. Let me see here. This is the pitcher of the week, which is Griff McGarry. Again, we'll have just a couple of slides. So Griff McGarry was a guy that was the player of the week. So he's had 15 starts. I mean, he's 1-4, 365, but over the last month he's been pitching much, much better. So that's a great sign. They're closing the doors. They're gonna lock us in here.
Yeah,
I know, right? They're gonna lock us in here. So I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, for him to continue to do it in last game, which he pitched yesterday, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 base on balls, and 6 strikeouts. This guy needs to continue to improve on reducing his base on balls. And Max, he's always been a great strikeout pitcher. In 23 innings, he had 40 strikeouts. So that has never been the issue. The issue have been the base on balls. So he's the player of the week, and then the hitter of the week is Gabriel Rincones, which went 9 for 19, 474 with 4 home runs this week and 10 RBIs. The guy can hit. I mean, the guy is a very good hitter. He has a career high 17 home runs this season, 64 RBIs, and we wish him nothing for the best for Gabriel Rincones. And then Justin Crawford also had a great week. He went 10 for 20, hitting 500. It is unfortunate that he's not the one that comes up. I feel for him. He deserves to be here. I mean, based on how great of a half or the season he's had. But look, he's 21 years old. He'll have all the opportunities in the world. That's the way I look at Justin Crawford. He'll have all the opportunities in the world to come up, and it's probably going to be next year in the spring training. He'll have the opportunity to win a job and remain with the team. So, how do you see it from your end, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I know everybody wants Justin Crawford to come up. You see a lot of fans say it on social media. You hear it on talk radio. But the reality is that here's where I got to give the Phillies some credit with this. Mm-hmm. They may not have gotten it right with the actual outfielders that are here at the major league level, but they're doing a self-evaluation, and they're sitting there saying to themselves, we believe in Justin Crawford and Andrew Painter going forward, which is why they were not traded at the deadline. We really do believe that they are on the right track. Mm-hmm. But right now in 2025, they're not able to help us. We don't feel like they're ready yet. Even if the numbers will show you what the numbers show you, it's on the positive side with Justin Crawford, that doesn't translate always to the major leagues, right? So there's something that they're watching and seeing in the way that he plays down there and say, yeah, those numbers are great for AAA, but the way he's swinging the bat and his mechanics, maybe they're not quite right for the major leagues. And I think that that's probably, good on them for saying that, because they want him to play the full season down there. Just play it. Who knows? He might get brought up at some point. There's always guys who get called up, you know, I don't know what they officially call them. We used to call them in hockey. We used to call them the Black Aces, right? And the idea is that they come up and they work out with the team and they practice with the team at the end of the year and into the playoffs, but they never get an opportunity to play. But that experience in and of itself could be beneficial for Justin Crawford, right?
Again,
so
21 years old. I mean, 21 years old, and look, what a season the guy has had. 336, 411 on base percentage. I mean, his OPS at 867. I mean, it's we cannot ask more out of this guy. He's had a tremendous season.
Yeah, and if you're going to be keeping Kepler on the team too, I mean, where are you really going to play him? I don't see Rob reducing any further playing time for those outfielders that are there. But, you know, back in July when he was struggling, I did think at the time that he would have been one of the best options. But right now, I think you just got to keep letting him do it. And, you know, maybe they do call him up if there's an injury or there's just a few outfielders that are really underperforming. But right now, I think just leave him there, keep it going. And, you know, the AAA season does end about a week before the Phillies season ends. So you never know.
And then the other big question is, I mean, Andrew Painter, he continues to have his dynamics, I mean, his struggles. So I think at some point they might just shut him down and just ask him to rest and then come back in the spring with the opportunity to make the team. I mean, it'll be very, very interesting. I mean, he's up to what, in terms of innings, 92.1 innings. He had, I mean, a handful of innings in Class A before he came up. So he probably is at the 100 inning mark right now. And they wanted him to pitch about 120 to 130 innings this year. So it'll be interesting kind of what they decide to do with him.
Yeah. Maybe they do continue to keep pitching him just to get his innings up. But that signing today of Buehler, I think, really is telling that there shouldn't be any expectation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I could not agree more with you. This last slide. So here is kind of where we are in terms of the schedule. So the Phillies are playing in Milwaukee the next 3 games. So we got Walker, Nola, and Suarez against Misrowski, Quintana, and Peralta. I mean, they are bringing their 3 best pitchers. I mean, Woodruff today lost for the second time this year, but these guys are elite. I mean, Peralta could be fighting for the Cy Young. I mean, if he's like Christopher Sanchez. I mean, the way that he's been pitching at an elite level, and Quintana has been a tremendous pitcher for them. So we're going to have a hard time. I mean, I hope we can hit that. I mean, the only way we're going to be able to win the series is hitting, and we're going to have those bats need to wake up in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I would say especially the first 2 games. So Misrowski, I know he was an all-star. That was ridiculous. But he's not been nearly as good in the second half.
He went down on the IL, right? Did he go on the IL?
Yeah, I mean, but his ERA is like 4.5 or close to that. Like he's not been as good since the All-Star break. So there's an opportunity there. Quintana is always he's always tough against the Phillies, but he's a guy that doesn't throw a lot of strikes. He tries to get you to chase. So you got to be more disciplined against Quintana. If you can be more disciplined against him, I think there's an opportunity there. He also doesn't pitch with length. He doesn't throw a lot of innings. So he usually get him out of the game early. You probably have another opportunity there. I think the toughest matchup, of course, is Peralta on Thursday. Yeah. So I think that the opportunity to hit is in those first 2 games for the Phillies, and they've got to do it because they haven't done it enough other than the game on Thursday night.
But by the way, just what was your take on the kid today? This Waldrop kid, I mean, he looked really good. That splitter is nasty.
So it's amazing to me that this is what the Braves do, right? They call up a young pitcher, and they've developed him, and he's great. And then something will eventually happen, whether they get hurt or whatever the case might be. I mean, but you go back and look over time. I mean, they just keep calling these kids up, and they keep doing it, and it doesn't matter who it is. They then go on to have varying degrees of success. I mean, the only one that I think that has had sustained success is probably Max Fried, who's now with the Yankees. But I mean, if you go back and look at it, like Michael Soroka came up and had a great beginning to his career, and then he fell off the map. And then you look at a guy like Strider, who was great. Then he had Tommy John and has not been as good this year. Smith Shawver is like really good, looked really good, but he's gotten hurt for a second time. Schwellenbach came up, looked really good, and then he got hurt. Right, so like this is what that happens with the Braves, and I think that Waldrop is just another one of those guys that comes out of that machine. And you're not rooting for injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if.
I mean, that splitter today was like, I mean, he was toying with Schwarber and with Harper. I mean, chasing that splitter. I mean, that was.
Let me ask you this, Oscar: Were you more impressed with Waldrop today or McLean in New York?
No, McLean. McLean is a better pitcher. Yeah. I think McLean he's a much more complete pitcher. I mean, his slider is.
Waldrop seems like if he doesn't have his splitter, it's not going to end well for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but what I'm surprised is how much chasing we went after. I mean, those pitchers were on the ground, and it's just the way. The same thing with we asked the same thing with Christopher Sanchez. Every time Christopher throws his changeup, I mean, you go, how in the world the hitters? I mean, I would love, and I said that to him, I would love to stand in front of you at the plate, throw me the sinker and throw me the changeup, because how in the world he fakes? I mean, he fools all those hitters with the changeup. It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It looks like a fastball. They think it's a fastball, and it's a changeup, and that's why they go after it. And that's why he's so effective. That's the best changeup in all baseball. So, Miami, we go Sanchez, Luzardo, and Walker against Cabrera, Alcantara. I don't know if Eury Perez is gonna pitch the game on Sunday. That will be interesting to see. Cabrera and Alcantara in the last two games, I mean, against the Mets, he absolutely, I mean, he was completely lights out. I love the Cabrera kid. I mean, that kid is a great pitcher. I mean, he has the potential to be very, very special. He was in the discussion to maybe go to Boston as part of a trade during the trading deadline, but he didn't go. He stayed there. They got some great pitching there. And then the Mets come here. They come here on September the 8th, and it's Nola, Suarez, and Sanchez again, Minaya, McLean again, and Holmes. By the way, I had when I go in this podcast with a lot of the Spanish guys, there's a lot of Mets fans, and you can imagine they were waiting for me. I mean, after Wednesday, they were just waiting for me to kill me, and they went after. And I said to them, the only thing we us Philly fans, we cannot wait for McLean and the new tongue guy to come into Citizens Bank Park, and I want to see them out there in the outfield beginning to throw against our fans out there. They're gonna tell them everything. I mean, it's gonna be fun seeing those guys pitching here. So get ready, McLean. We're waiting for you.
Oscar, you mentioned that the Dodgers have an easier schedule. I mean, there's one thing I kind of want to point out, because they technically, by record, they do have an easier schedule. I'm not going to dispute that. But here's what I want to talk about the Dodgers. So Dodgers also have 25 games left.
Yep.
15 of them are on the road. So they got to go. They got a lot of travel, and they got to go east to west, right? So they got to come east. Now, I know they're playing a couple of bad teams here in Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and then they get Colorado. So that's why you say, oh, man, it's an easy schedule.
Don't they have Baltimore twice? I think they have Baltimore twice.
So Baltimore just once. It's 3 in Pittsburgh and then 3 in Baltimore. And then they go home to play Colorado for 3. But then here's where it gets interesting to me. They play 3. They've got to go they go to San Francisco for 3. And then they go home to play the Phillies for 3 and the Giants again for 4. So they play the Giants 7 times in 10 games with the Phillies in between. The thing about the Giants is this. The Giants, all of a sudden, they've been playing really good baseball. They're back within 5 games of the Mets. And you say, well, 5 games is a lot, and it is. But the Mets are going to Detroit to play the Tigers. The Giants are playing Colorado. If the Giants can suddenly make up a couple games here in this first series, while the Mets, and now all of a sudden you're within 3 games of the Mets.
The Mets are collapsing. The Mets are collapsing.
It's not even that. It's the game. The Giants games will matter to the Giants.
Sure. More than the matter.
Those games are not easy wins for the Dodgers. And then the Dodgers finished the year on a 6-game road trip in Arizona, which they're not a great team, but they just gave the Dodgers a hard time.
And Seattle.
Who's going to be playing for themselves for a playoff spot possibly at the end of the season. So it's easier team.
It looks easier, but it's not necessarily easier.
It's not necessarily easier, right?
And those San
Right.
Francisco games, they're going to split a lot of those games. I mean, that's what it looks to me, that they will split a lot of those games. So we have Milwaukee, Miami, New York and Philly, Kansas City and Philly. Then we travel, last road trip of the year, we travel to Los Angeles, that's on the right, and we travel to Arizona, and then we finish with Miami and Minnesota here. So, look, we'll have every opportunity. I think what I would be hesitant about, there are two things that I'm hesitant, and this team has to show us that they're better. Hitting more consistently, and then how we're going to make up for the loss of Wheeler. I mean, those are the two things that we are dealing with that are, to me, the biggest obstacles for us. I do trust the bullpen. I think this bullpen is going to be Robertson has shown me a lot. Bank, my God, Bank. I mean, he's pitching like he's unbelievable. I mean, he could have been the guy throwing the eighth inning instead of Kerr. I'm a little worried about Kerr. I hope Kerr kind of gets it back. Look, baseball is like that. You go ups and downs. We know the kid has tremendous talent, and if he throws strikes, I mean, he's been a little bit more wild than his usual self. So, hey, and I trust the kid completely. So he'll make it. He'll do a better job moving forward. But I do believe their bullpen will be there. I do believe that from now till the end of the year, our starters are going to do a decent job. I mean, replacing Wheeler is not an easy task. And the bigger question to me is the consistency we're hitting. We cannot continue. I mean, how many hits we had? We had 5 today. We've had 17 hits in the last 3 games. I mean, there's no way. You need a lot more production than that. There's no way you do it. And how many home runs have we had in the last 3 days? March today?
Yeah.
I don't think we had a home run yesterday.
That's it.
The last 3 days. I mean, and we depend too much on the home runs. And look, as the pitching gets stopped.
We had Weston Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
Weston Wilson. That's true. Weston Wilson yesterday. So, I mean, we were lucky that we won the last 2. We won game 2 and 3 in this series because we did not hit at all with only 6 hits.
Yeah, not hitting against Elder, too, is pretty concerning.
Yeah, and I don't buy the explanation. Well, Elder pitched one of the best games of his year. Well, how come these guys are pitching the best game of the years against us? I mean, I don't buy that too much. So, hey, guys, let's leave it here. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I know it's a quick one today. And Anthony, thank you so much. Tyler, truly, truly appreciate it. Where can we follow you in social media? And Anthony, you have a show tomorrow as well. Where can we follow you in social media, Anthony?
Absolutely. I'll always find me on X at SanFilippo. You can find my writing at @onPattison. And then, of course, the Fighting Words that the podcast I do with Bob Wankel. We will be live tomorrow morning. I might be a little bit later than usual because it's a holiday tomorrow. Yeah. So we might not go. We usually go at like 8:30. We might bump it like to 9 or 9:30 so we can sleep in, especially after a long night tonight. But we'll definitely get that out tomorrow morning. Just find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@fightingwords.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anthony. Tyler, you do all the magic to Phillies Tailgate. Talk to us about Phillies Tailgate.
Yeah, just posting as much as I can. It's just it's really fun, posting everything that I like to post, and it's worked out.
Tyler is one of the best. I mean, if you want to, if I before I go to the game, I go to Phillies Tailgate and I see all the dynamics between On Pattison and Phillies Tailgate. Follow your baseball, your Phillies news there. I mean, the guys are the best. Thank you so much, guys, for this evening, and we look forward to next week. Next week we'll have it at a regular time of 8 p.m. We're gonna have Tim Kelly and Jeff will be back, and the rest of the gang. I don't know if Jeff is gonna be back. It's gonna be the first weekend of football. So, hey, enjoy the Phils this week. Hopefully, we can have a winning week, and God bless, guys. Thank you so much for being with us.
lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y